You've seen them in Assassin's Creed Valhalla and the TV series Vikings. Fierce warriors, raiders, and explorers. But who were the real Vikings? Today we'll uncover the true story, from their rise in Scandinavia to the battles that ended their age. Stick around, because this tale is wilder than any movie, and it's all true. The Viking Age began in the late 700s in the rugged lands of Scandinavia, what we know today as Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. Life here was tough. Harsh winters, rocky soil, and limited farmland meant survival wasn't guaranteed. Out of necessity, they turned to the sea. With their brilliant invention, the long ship, sleek, fast, and able to sail both rivers and oceans, they had the perfect tool to explore and to conquer. In 793 AD, the world first felt the Viking fury. Raiders stormed Lindisfarne, a monastery off the coast of England. To the terrified monks, it was as if demons had risen from the sea. News of the attack spread quickly, and soon Europe trembled at the very mention of the word Viking. But here's the truth. While raids made them infamous, silver, trade, and power were what truly fueled their rise. Vikings weren't just raiders. Many were merchants, sailing the same ships to buy and sell goods. They traded furs, iron, and even slaves, exchanging them for silver, silk, and spices. Their trade routes stretched thousands of miles, linking Scandinavia to the Middle East, Africa, and beyond. Imagine it, a Viking merchant walking the streets of Baghdad centuries ago. And yet their hunger for exploration didn't stop there. Viking ships reached Paris, Spain, and the Mediterranean. To the east, Swedish Vikings traveled along Russian rivers to Constantinople. And across the Atlantic, Leif Erikson set foot in North America, nearly 500 years before Columbus. The Vikings weren't just raiders. They were some of the greatest explorers in human history. Back home, most Vikings lived ordinary lives. Villages were filled with farmers, blacksmiths, and craftsmen. Women held surprising rights for the era. They could own property, manage farms, and even divorce their husbands. Viking life was tough, yes, but it wasn't endless battle. It was family, community, and survival. And guiding them was their belief in Norse mythology. They worshipped gods like Odin, the wise All-Father, Thor, the protector with his mighty hammer, and Loki, the trickster. For warriors, death in battle wasn't feared, it was an honor. They believed Valkyries would carry the brave to Valhalla, a great hall where they would feast and fight forever. Some Vikings became legends. Ragnar Lothbrok, a figure of both myth and history, was said to have terrorized England and France. His sons, Ivar the Boneless and Bjorn Ironside, carved out empires, and Harald Hardrada, called the last great Viking king, would one day meet his fate in a battle that ended the Viking Age. But the Vikings didn't just raid, they built. They founded cities like Dublin in Ireland, ruled York in England, and settled Iceland and Greenland. In England, their influence was so strong that part of the country was ruled under Viking law, the Danelaw. Even today, hundreds of English towns still carry Viking names, and many common words come straight from Old Norse. Of course, warfare was at the heart of Viking power. They fought in tight shield walls, axes and spears flashing in the sun. Some warriors, known as berserkers, were said to fight in a trance-like rage, unstoppable, fearless, almost superhuman. Facing them in battle must have been terrifying, but empires never last forever. As European kingdoms grew stronger, Viking raids met fierce resistance. Christianity spread through Scandinavia, pulling people away from the old gods and the warrior culture. At home, farmland expanded, meaning fewer had to leave to survive. The golden age of raiding was coming to an end. In 1066, Harald Hardrada launched a daring invasion of England, but at the Battle of Stamford Bridge, his army was crushed. 3 weeks later, William the Conqueror invaded at Hastings, and England's future was sealed. The Viking Age had ended, and yet, the Vikings never truly disappeared. Their bloodline flows through Scandinavia and Europe. Their language shaped English. Their myths inspired centuries of stories, even Marvel's Thor. Their spirit of exploration still inspires us today. So tell me, do you think the Vikings are gone, or do they still live on in us? This has been Past in Pixels. If you enjoyed this story, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and join me on the next journey through history, because the past is never gone. It's alive, pixel by pixel,